Hi friends, I'm Lily. Welcome back to Lily's Crochet Cottage. Have you noticed that when you walk into a brand new, modern house, everything can sometimes feel a bit cold? Even when the furniture is expensive, something is often missing. Lately, I've been seeing a beautiful shift. People are moving away from those showroom looks and heading straight back to the feeling of a loved American cottage. Why are we suddenly seeing vintage crochet blankets, handmade lace, and old-fashioned textures appearing in the most stylish small homes again? Today we are looking at the warmest cottage living rooms I've ever seen, and the one secret ingredient they all have in common. We're going to explore how one simple handmade detail can take a room from feeling stiff to feeling like a warm hug. Before we begin, I'd love to know, do you have an old handmade piece in your home? Maybe a crochet blanket your mother made? A lace doily from a church bazaar? Or a little thrifted treasure that just makes the room feel more like you? Let me know in the comments. For a long time, interior design was all about matching and minimalism. But for those of us who love the cottage style, we know that a home without texture is a home without a soul. This year, the biggest trend in home decor isn't a new piece of furniture. It's the return of the handmade Afghan. Whether it's a classic 1970s granny square throw in earthy autumn tones, or a creamy, heavy cotton crochet blanket with a delicate shell-stitch border, these pieces are making a massive comeback. Why? Because they solve the biggest problem in modern home improvement: the lack of personality. In a small cottage living room, a sofa can look quite plain. But the moment you drape a handmade textile over the back, the whole room softens. It tells a story. It says that someone cares about the details. If you're looking to bring this look back, search your linen closets or keep an eye out at estate sales for blankets that are clean and well preserved. We aren't looking for shabby. We are looking for heirloom quality. In a tiny home or a small apartment, every corner counts. I often hear from friends who say their living room feels crowded rather than cozy. The trick to Cottagecore decor is using textiles to create visual softness without adding bulk. Think about that one corner chair where you like to read. By adding a small handmade needlepoint cushion with a floral motif, maybe some faded pink cabbage roses, and pairing it with a small lace doily on the side table, you create an anchor. Suddenly, that small corner feels like a destination. One practical decorating idea I love for small spaces is using crochet as wall art. A beautiful, cream-colored lace piece stretched inside an old wooden hoop can soften a hard wall much better than a heavy, dark picture frame. It keeps the room feeling bright and airy, which is so important for small space decorating. If you're enjoying these little cottage ideas, I'd love for you to join our community. It's so wonderful to share these memories with you. As we move through the home, we see how these living room textures can flow into other areas. In many traditional American cottages, the living room and the kitchen or dining area sit right next to each other. To keep that warmth moving, consider your windows. Instead of heavy, dark drapes that block the sun, many cottage homeowners are returning to lace curtains. There is something so nostalgic about the way morning light filters through a cotton lace panel with a scalloped hem. It makes the living room feel larger and more connected to the garden outside. Even in the entryway, a simple wooden peg rail styled with a handmade crochet market basket or a folded vintage linen runner creates a collected feel the moment you walk through the door. It's these little home decor ideas that make a house feel lived in and loved, rather than just decorated. You don't need a huge budget for an affordable home upgrade. In fact, some of the warmest living rooms are filled with budget home decor, found at thrift stores and flea markets. When you're out thrifting, look for high-quality materials. A heavy, hand-stitched patchwork quilt or a vintage embroidered linen piece can be laundered gently and brought back to life. These items bring a sense of history that mass-produced store-bought items just can't mimic. A common styling mistake to avoid is cluttering rather than collecting. To keep your cottage living room looking clean and orderly, group your vintage finds together. Place a small milk glass vase on top of a lace doily, next to a stack of old cookbooks. This creates a vignette, a little scene that feels intentional and beautiful. At the end of the day, why are we so drawn to these old-fashioned details? I think it's because, in a world that moves so fast, we want our homes to slow down. We want to see the stitches. We want to feel the weight of a cotton throw. Bringing these handmade elements into our living rooms isn't just about a trend. It's about honoring the women who came before us. The grandmothers who sat in these same kinds of chairs, working with yarn and lace to make their homes beautiful. When we add a crochet blanket to our sofa, we're keeping that tradition of gentle homemaking alive. Thank you so much for spending this time with me in the cottage today. If you love vintage cottage decorating and handmade home decor as much as I do, please give this video a like and subscribe to join our little family here at Lily's Crochet Cottage. I'd love to hear about your favorite vintage find in the comments below. Until next time, keep your home cozy and your heart full. Bye for now.